Hello, fellow Helldivers. Today, I am attempting to answer the question, can you quick match level 9 Helldive missions? And I don't mean the extermination missions, which are very easy. Those are the missions where you are tasked with killing X number of enemies, so it's like, kill 150 to 200 enemies. People run those a lot to grind EXP and medals and requisition points. But what I'm trying to do is run with randoms with real level 9 Helldive missions. And what I mean by that is just like a normal 40-minute mission. So you can see I quick matched, it took a second. Now, before this, I will just say that I had been quick matching for a little bit to find a group running 40-minute missions and kept running into people running extermination missions. So it might take you a little bit if you're trying to copy this. But eventually you will find a group. Now let me just pause this right here. And here I've zoomed in so you can see my loadout. So I'm taking the cluster bomb, the airstrike, the laser guard dog, and the railgun. We can skip the booster for now. We'll talk about that in a second. So let me be clear. I don't think that this is the greatest loadout or the only loadout that you can take. I think there are many different kinds of loadouts that you can take. I would say that in general, especially when playing with the randoms, you're going to want to kind of have a jack of all trades loadout. So what I mean by that is you're going to want to have both AoE abilities or ability to kill small mobs efficiently, and then you're also going to want the ability to kill large armored targets. So that's kind of what this loadout is set up to do, and that's why I'm making the picks that I'm making, and I will explain some kind of substitutions or differences that you could have that kind of still go along with this general philosophy. So why do I take those two eagles? Well, the cluster bomb is incredible for AoE damage against non-armored targets, and there are tons of trash mobs with the bugs that aren't armored. It is a fairly dangerous tool. I will have to warn you, okay, all you out there. I see you online, okay? You use this thing and you kill me. I understand. It's okay. We all get it. But you do have to have a level of responsibility, is what I'm going to say, to use this thing appropriately. Now, I am not innocent here, okay? I sometimes kill my teammates with this as well. Sometimes they're not paying attention. Sometimes it's my fault. It's going to happen. Just be aware that it's, with great power here comes great responsibility. It is an incredible AoE tool for small bugs, but it will kill your ass, and it will kill your team's ass. So just be careful with it. Next, we have the Eagle Airstrike. It is quite a good ability. It's one of the early abilities you get. It is good for direct strike capability. So it's really good against the bots for killing their fabricators. So you just chuck it at a fabricator from far off and it'll destroy it, so you don't have to like run up and chuck a grenade into it. But it is also good against the bugs. If you run out of grenades for killing the bug holes, it's good for destroying the illegal broadcasts and stuff like that. And it also does have some AoE, so it's not without AoE. It has some AoE, so it's good against killing some mobs of bugs as well. With the bots also, it's good. It kills tanks and it can kill hulks and stuff like that. With the bugs, it's not really going to take out. It might take out a charger, but that's a pretty tall order, and it's not going to take out a Bile Titan. It might do some damage to it, but it's not going to take it out. So it's less useful against the bugs. So what are our other options here? I still think it's a great option against the bugs, but there are some other options here, and it also depends on what your team is doing. So you could take Napalm. Napalm's good against the bugs, good AoE ability. I like it. It's good against small mobs. It's good to deal damage to larger mobs too through their armor with the fire. But you will be losing that direct strike capability with the Napalm compared to the airstrike. So you just kind of have to weigh that. How much do you care about being able to have like a direct targeted strike that also has some AoE versus something like Napalm that's more like an area denial AoE attack? Now, you could also go for something like the orbital laser here. That's a good choice. But the problem with the orbital laser is that probably at least 2 people on your team are going to try to take it, like the randoms. And it has 3 charges between your team. So it can make sense for 2 people to take it. Definitely makes sense for 1 person to take it. 2 people just for like the cooldown. Because the cooldown's not shared, but the 3 uses are shared, right? So It lets you throw 2 uses down quicker if you need it. But if other people on your team are taking the orbital laser, like in this game, I wouldn't take it myself. I would just let the other people take it. And take the airstrike or napalm or something like that. You could also take the orbital rail cannon. That's a good one too for killing bile titans in a pinch. It's got a long cooldown, so you gotta deal with that. I do like just the normal airstrike. It's versatile. Like I said, I can use it to kill bug holes. It's just a really good all-around ability. You can't go wrong with taking it even in a level 9 mission. Next we have the laser guard dog. I take the laser guard dog over any of the guard dogs with the guns with ammo, because the other ones have ammo and they run out of ammo, and then you have to wait for your next supply pack to get them more ammo. So the laser guard dog does take like a rest every once in a while, and then it'll come back out, but it's completely passive. You don't have to manage it at all. Now you could also take the shield here, which is a very popular option you'll see people take for the backpack slot instead of the guard dog. I would take the shield 100% against the robots. For the way that my loadout works, I use the laser guard dog to deal with like small mobs around me, so that I don't have to think about them as much, and I can focus on either running or killing larger targets like chargers. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm using the Scorcher as my primary instead of the Breaker shotgun, which is what most people are probably using right now. The Breaker shotgun's very good at killing those small mobs that are close to you with the bugs, the ones that are chasing you, trying to melee you and stuff. The Scorcher is not. What the Scorcher does have is essentially medium armor penetration, even though it only says that it has light armor penetration, because it has explosive damage, and that explosive damage will deal damage through the armor of the enemy. So it'll do damage to pretty much anything that you shoot with it, which is nice. It's got long range, it's very precise. It's better against the bots. In fact, I'd say against the bots, it's easily the best gun in the game. It's still good against the bugs though. So it's not as good against the bugs, but it is still perfectly viable against them. If you're someone like me who wants their primary weapon to be able to shoot at kind of any enemy and do damage to it, then you'll like the Scorcher quite a bit. And then lastly, we have the railgun. The railgun is probably the best support weapon in the game. It's very powerful. Probably the most overpowered weapon in the game, I would say. I don't think there's too much to say about it. You shoot the charger's legs with it twice, the same leg. You don't even have to overcharge it, and then you just shoot it with a gun and they'll die real quick. You can 3-shot the chargers in the head if you want to do that instead. It's a little less efficient, but I'd say it's a little easier to do if you're kind of panicking. And then it can kill bile titans. It's a little tricky with the bile titans. It feels sort of inconsistent. I think in general doing damage to bile titans feels kind of weird most of the time and inconsistent, but that's just kind of how they are. It will one-shot hulks. You can kill tanks with it, even without just by shooting their turret, not by shooting their weak spot. It'll take a number of shots, but you can do it. Same thing with the laser cannon towers that they have. So it's just very good, very powerful. I highly recommend taking it. As for the booster, well, I would say you want 2 boosters every time. Those would be Hellpod optimization, gives you full ammo and grenades. That one's really nice. And then you want the one that lets you sprint better, so it both lets you sprint longer and recharges your stamina faster. Those are 2 ones that you're really going to want. A lot of people will probably tell you, and even correctly so, that you want the radar one. The radar one is very powerful. It's very good. But I'd say when you're playing with randoms, they're probably just going to aggro every single thing in sight anyway. So like the chance that the radar is actually going to be super useful, I think is a lot lower. So I think you can kind of just ignore the radar. Now, to be completely honest with you, I have absolutely no idea what this booster that I'm using here does. I just take it because I'm assuming that it does something, but I have not figured it out and I haven't bothered to look it up. So if someone knows what it does, maybe they can let me know in the comments. Here we can see the loadouts that the rest of the team is taking. So everyone in this game is following the same kind of pattern. A support weapon, a backpack, and then 2 eagles or orbital strikes. We got the laser cannon, we got 2 500 kg bombs, we have 2 orbital rail guns. So those are good options. I kind of like what I'm seeing there. It fills out kind of the rest of what I'm doing pretty well. Normally people want to take those kind of big flashy things, so I'm not too worried about taking them myself. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to let this match play through here. You'll see that we are very unorganized, so there's almost no organization between us, very little communication, and yet we still manage to 100% the level and extract with a full team with a bunch of samples. So it's just kind of to show you here that with the right setup, even with random people without very much communication or organization, you can pretty easily run these hell missions. Now, I will say that there is a bit of randomness with the difficulty of these missions, so sometimes they are much more difficult than other times. You're not going to be able to replicate this 100%. You will have times where you fail to extract, especially. It's pretty rare in my experience not to be able to complete all the main objectives, but you can definitely fail to extract every once in a while. Those extracts can be really hairy some of the time. But with that being said, here is the mission.
Reloading. Sub-objective near your location. Sending in an eagle.
Dropping a pin. Southeast.
Tactical asset near your location.
Tagging map. South.
Sending in an eagle. Reinforcements. Reloading. Requesting orbital.
Package up. Dropping package.
Tagging map. Southwest. Throwing grenade. They own democracy. Requesting air support.
Package acquired. Dropping package. Package up. Dropping package. Bag's empty. Package acquired.
Dropping pack. Package one. Dropping pack. West. Cancel that. Tactical asset near your position. I got the terminal.
Bag's empty.
Calling in orbital strike.
Bug outpost spotted. Prepare to exterminate.
Dropping a pin. West.
Enemy elite. Northwest, 50 meters.
Mission at
Bag's
30
empty.
minutes remaining.
Tagging map. West. Requesting air support.
Democracy's on its way.
Say hello to democracy! On tunnel 3!
Support weapons northwest.
Requesting orbital strike. Heavy, southwest, 50 meters. Reinforcing. Point me to the enemy.
Dropping a pin.
Calling in reinforcements.
Last reload.
Have a taste of democracy.
Sample collected. That's empty. On tunnel 3. Sending in an eagle.
Sending in an eagle.
Don't you like the taste of freedom? Reloading.
How'd you like the taste of freedom? Boom, target down. Reinforcing.
That's empty.
Sub-objective near your
Tagging map.
location.
Northwest. New mag.
Bug outpost spotted. Prepare to exterminate. Requesting air support.
Engaging terminal.
Sending in an eagle. I got the terminal.
Orbital inbound.
Requesting air support.
Coming in hot. Nailed him. Requesting air support.
Bug tunnel breach. Say hello to democracy. Sending in an eagle.
Democracy's on its way.
I'm on it.
Requesting orbital strike. Got him. Enemy tactical asset within threat range.
Reinforcing.
Tagging map, northeast.
Got a sample. Their sample acquired.
Heavy,
Dropping a
northeast,
pin.
100 meters.
No mag. Not today!
Calling down a support weapon. Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Democracy at work. Requesting air support.
Reloading.
Delivering payload.
Support weapon.
Ready to liberate.
Cancel that. Lock tunnel breach.
Requesting advanced weaponry.
Requesting air support.
Here comes the cavalry.
Bug out post spotted.
Fire in the hole!
Eagle 1 leaving combat zone to resupply.
Main objective near your position.
Map northwest.
Attacking map. Northwest. New mag. Station. Oh, to the left.
Heavy, south, 50 meters. Sending in an eagle.
I've rarely seen liberty dispensed so rapidly. Welcome aboard, Helldiver.